Well, welcome to our Friday morning. So for some of you, this is the end of your week. For others, this might be the beginning of a long weekend seminar. So wherever we're at in our RC journey, I invite you to find these next few moments to be a place to honor that stillness and presence inside each of us. So I always think about that place of presence um, as kind of nestled inside. And anytime that I think about it, that I can remember, I can breathe my attention right into that place of presence, and boom, it opens like a gift, and it's right there, accessible. And so we can use this time on our yoga mat to nourish that little place of presence in us so that it becomes more accessible. We remember more frequently. We create those pathways into that present moment awareness that become more like speedways rather than dirt roads. So I encourage you to calm the mind by bringing attention into that place, and wherever that is inside you. I am, gesturing to my kind of the middle of my body here, but it might be down low for you. It might be heart center. So wherever that place of presence resides inside you, I encourage you to bring your awareness into that space. And you're welcome to even bring a hand to that place if that feels nice for you, to have that extra piece of information by touching your body. And we can let our mind, our awareness, our breath all start to come together. They can all align, recognizing this place of presence. And as we spend these next few moments in silence, allow your breath to be your anchor. Continue bringing your breath into your awareness so that this place of presence can become nourished and strong. As we move through our asanas this afternoon or this morning or this evening, allow this place of presence to continue to grow, continue to illuminate your way forward. So this place of presence is our guide. It's our anchor. It's that place of loving kindness, compassion, place of heart-centered awareness. And with our next inhale, gently allowing movement to come into the body, we'll reach the fingertips towards the edges of the mat, reaching both arms out to the side, down at an angle, sitting up nice and tall through our midline, out the center of the head. And with our exhale, we'll bring right ear towards right shoulder. As we allow that right ear to come down towards the shoulder, think about arcing through the center of the body and out the center of the head, creating this big, beautiful rainbow that can come through us, rather than just crunching the ear towards the shoulder. Continuing to lift up and extend through midline, out the center of the head. And from here, gently rolling the chin towards that right shoulder. So maintaining the diagonal, maintaining the arc in the body. We'll gently bring the chin down towards the right shoulder, feeling that length come down the back of the head, back of the neck, reaching out the left pinky finger. And slowly bringing the chin back to center and returning to midline. Feeling that length through the spine, up and out the center of the head, arcing to the left. Left ear comes towards left shoulder, reaching through the right fingers. Feeling these long lines of the body, maybe becoming aware of this line from the middle finger, up the arm, up the side of the neck, out the center of the head. And as we gently roll the chin towards the chest, down to that left shoulder, maintaining the arc, we now feel that line shift slightly, coming down the back of the neck and out the pinky finger. And slowly returning to center. On the inhale, right arm rises up overhead. Gently bring those fingers down the back of the body, walking the fingers towards the sacrum. Left hand can come across to rest on the right elbow. Strong through the belly, we're sitting up nice and tall here, reaching the right elbow towards the sky as the right fingers walk down the spine. And we can stay right here or add a side bend, leaning to the left, keeping both of those sits bones pressed down into the earth. Feeling that stretch extend down the back of the arm, through the armpit and the side body, all the way down into that right hip. And inhale back to center. Right arm comes across the front of the body. We'll grab just behind the elbow and give a little bit of a pull. Again, we don't want to press and compress the arm into the body, but instead reaching across. Feeling the stretch come around the back of the arm, maybe even finding its way into the spine. Maintaining strength in the belly, we're sitting up nice and tall. And on the exhale, slowly release. Let's bring left arm up overhead, reaching through those left fingers and then bending the arm, walking the fingers down the spine. Right hand comes across to meet. Lengthening through the body, reaching that left elbow towards the sky, walking the fingers towards the earth. And staying here, gently arcing to the right. Again, keep both of those sits bones pressed into the earth, breathing into the side body. And slowly release, coming back to center. Left arm comes across the front, right arm grabs just behind that elbow, reaching the fingers out to the right side of the body. One more long breath here. And on the exhale, gently release. We'll bring the hands around the back of the body, interlace the fingers, pressing the knuckles towards the earth, roll the shoulders back, lift through heart center, maybe allowing the gaze to find that place where the wall meets the ceiling. And we'll breathe here, opening that heart. One more breath. And on the exhale, gently release, coming back to center. Reach the shoulders towards the ears, around, back, and down. A couple of big shoulder rolls. And we'll change directions, coming up from behind and around front. And from here, we'll make our way down all the way onto the mat. So if you are on a cushion, go ahead and slide off, and we'll bring our feet directly out in front. Toes reach up towards the sky. Gently begin opening the back of the body, pulling those kneecaps back towards you. So activating the quads. As the kneecaps come back towards us, the heels lift gently off of the earth. Maybe starting to even feel a little bit of fire burning in the body here as the large quadricep muscles begin to activate. Feeling a gentle stretch, nice passive stretch in the back side of the body as well. One more breath here. And with our inhale, arms rise up overhead. Gently allow the heels to make their way back down to the earth. Soften the tops of the legs. Throw the fingers way out over the toes. Again, imagine that those fingers are 10 inches longer than they are, draping way out in front of us. Belly button comes down first, eventually chest, and finally our gaze drops to our knees. Rolling the sits bones out behind us, you're welcome to allow those knees to stay bent. Maybe just straightening one leg at a time. If it's early morning for you and you just rolled out of bed, be real mindful with our back line. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And inhale, slowly coming back to center. We're going to bend our right leg so that the shin of the right leg is parallel with the front edge of the mat. Left leg is going to come across, maybe to meet at the ankle, maybe to meet at the calf, or maybe we can stack that left ankle directly on top of the right knee, making our way into fire log pose, sitting up nice and tall. Again, if you find you've gone past your edge, just back off, listen to the body. Hands can rest down on the knee and the ankle, engage through the belly, find that long spine, and then check in with the breath. Long inhales and long exhales. Again, using that breath to be your anchor into this moment. Softening through the hips. Letting each exhale, let this posture settle a little bit more. Two more breaths here. And slowly we'll stack onto the back sides of those sits bones so that this foot can come in nice and close towards our left hip, and we'll stand the left foot down. That left knee standing tall, right heel's tucked in towards the bottom, and then come right back up onto the tops of those sits bones. Hands can rest down by our sides, lifting and lengthening through the body. One more breath here. And on our exhale, we'll turn to the left, holding on to this knee with the inside of the right elbow. Maybe holding that knee in nice and close, or maybe just enjoying a little bit of a spinal twist. If you want to take this posture a little bit deeper, you're welcome to twist so that the gaze is over the left shoulder. On the inhale, we lift and lengthen, and on the exhale, we twist, using the belly to help us twist open. And if it feels right for you, let's let the gaze cast over the left shoulder. Attempting to keep both of those sits bones settled into the earth, softening that left hip. One more breath here. And slowly release, gently unwind, come back to center. We're going to move a little bit deeper into this posture, finding cow face pose. So this top leg will come all the way across as the left heel makes its way towards the right hip, and then the knees are pointed out in front. Those knees can be staggered, they don't have to be stacked. Just finding where your edge is this morning, getting right up on top of those sits bones. We'll flex the feet so that we're protecting the tendons and ligaments of the ankles and of the feet, so keep those feet nice and strong. And on our inhale, arms reach out to the side. Reach through those fingers. On the exhale, right arm traces over the left. Interlace those forearms and palms come to touch. You can stay right here or bring the fingertips up towards the sky. Finding the breath, settling into the hips. One more breath. And on the exhale, gently unwind. We'll bring our hands around the back of the body, lean back into those hands. We'll extend the left foot up and out, right foot up and out, bringing those feet nice and wide, and then dropping one knee towards midline and then the other. Rolling out the hip joints here. Just releasing the hips. One more breath. And slowly making our way back to center. We'll lay this left leg down first so that the shin of the left leg is parallel to the edge of the mat. Right leg comes down second, maybe landing ankle to ankle, maybe ankle to shin, or maybe ankle to knee. You might notice a variation from one side to the other. Typically one side's a little bit easier than the other side. And again, hands can rest down on knee or ankle. Sit up nice and tall. Lift through the spine. Find the breath. Notice where you're holding. Sometimes we're holding places that we can soften, maybe the shoulders, the jaw, maybe even deepen that hip. We're just taking inventory of the body here. One more breath. And with our exhale, we'll gently release. Again, we roll the back sides of those sits bones so this left heel can come in nice and close towards the right hip. Right foot stands as that knee comes in towards the body. Hands reaching down to the side. We lift up, extend through the center of the body, strong in the belly. And then we'll turn towards the right, holding this right knee in with our inside of our left elbow. And then if it feels right for you, you can take this into a spinal twist. Again, lift and extend on the inhale, twist on the exhale. Eventually looking over the right shoulder, if that feels good for you. And from here, exhale, slowly unwind, coming back to center. Again, moving into cow face pose, we want to keep this left heel nice and close towards the right hip, and then the right leg continues to cross over. Getting right up on top of those sits bones, shimmying the sits bones back down into the earth. Feet are flexed. Arms reach out to the side. We'll bring left arm over right, interlace those elbows, fingers press towards one another. And we can reach the fingers towards the heaven if that feels good for us. One more breath here. Great posture to recognize our connection between heaven and earth, grounding the sits bones down into our mother, reaching the fingers up into the heavens. One more breath here. And slowly release, gently unwind. Hands come around the back of the body. We'll lean back into those elbows. Right foot extends up and out. Left extends up and out into that nice wide stance here as we drop one knee down and then the other. One more breath here. And as we make our way back to center, we'll hug the knees in nice and close to the body, finding that place where the sits bones and the sacrum make a little bit of a tripod, and then we'll lift the feet up off of the earth, engage through the belly, lift through the center of the head, breathe here. And with our exhale, slowly release and take a few moments to find yourself into tabletop, coming onto hands and knees. Palms directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. We're going to press the tops of the feet into the earth, lifting the knees up, finding that engagement in the core. Nice, strong through the belly. One more breath. And on our exhale, gently release the knees back down onto the mat. Maintaining the strength in the belly, we'll shift our weight to the right knee, extend the left foot out behind and the right arm out overhead. Reaching from left heel to right fingers, strong in the belly. Back of the body's active. One more breath. And exhale, gently release, coming back down onto all fours. We'll switch our weight. Right foot extends out behind, in front. And on the exhale, gently release, coming back into tabletop. We'll keep our knees and hips where they are and walk our hands out towards the top of the mat, finding extended puppy. Forehead comes to the earth, sits bones roll to the sky. Keeping those palms pressed down into the earth, really bracing the arms, bracing the armpits. We'll take one more breath here. And with our next inhale, rise up just enough to slide the right arm underneath the left armpit, gently lowering your body down onto the outside of the right shoulder. You're welcome to bring this left hand directly in front of the face for a little bit more support if that feels more stable for you. Breathing into the outside of the right shoulder, maybe even feeling that stretch come around to the mid-spine. And with our next inhale, we'll rise up, finding extended puppy. Press those palms into the earth. One more breath here. And with our next inhale, rise up just enough to slide the left arm underneath the right armpit. Again, lower down nice and slow, being mindful on that left shoulder. Again, you're welcome to place the right hand directly in front of the face, creating a little bit more of a stable platform. Breathing into this posture, feeling the opening of that left shoulder all the way around to the spine. Weight is evenly distributed between both of the knees. We'll take one more breath here. And slowly make our way back into extended puppy. And with our next inhale, we'll press back up to tabletop. One long deep breath here. Rolling the toes under, sits bones rise to the sky. We make our way into downward dog. Taking your time finding your dog, we can shift our weight from left to right. Allow one knee to bend and then the other. Just pedaling out the feet. And eventually finding your dog. Palms press into the earth, sits bone roll to the sky, heels make their way down. One breath here. And with our next inhale, we'll bring our gaze out in between the hands and step the right foot forward. Staying down in a nice low lunge, pressing through the back of the left knee. We'll bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. So the hands are directly below the shoulders and that right leg is on the outside of the right arm. Squeezing the right knee in towards the right triceps. Again, belly's nice and strong, peeling away from the earth. One more long breath here. And with our next inhale, right arm rises to the sky. Use the belly to twist. Reaching the right fingers up towards the heavens. You're welcome to bring the left knee back down onto the earth. One more breath here. And slowly unwind, coming back to center. And on our exhale, we'll walk the right foot over to the left side of the mat. So as we heel to toe, walk that foot over, we'll gently lower down for pigeon. You're welcome to bring a bolster or a block under that right hip if that feels appropriate for you. As we settle down into pigeon, releasing those left toes, chest reaches out towards the top of the mat. We'll take one long breath here. And on our exhale, we come forward. Maybe coming down onto elbows, maybe stacking the fists and resting the forehead down, or allowing the forehead to come all the way down onto the earth. Again, if you feel like you've gone past your edge, just gently back off, rise back up, find child's pose. And we'll take a couple more breaths here. Letting the breath be your guide and your anchor. Keeping your awareness in your body. And with our next inhale, we'll gently press up. Sitting up nice and tall. Again, that chest reaches out towards the top of the mat. Really protecting the low back. One more long breath here. And slowly curling those back toes under. We're going to lift through the back of the left knee, step the right foot back for plank. And then make our way into downward dog. Rolling those sits bones to the sky, heels make their way to the earth. One more long breath here. And with our next inhale, gaze comes up in between the hands and left foot follows. Bringing that left foot up in between the hands, we keep the right leg up, lifting through the back of the right knee. Imagine those inner thighs coming towards one another. We don't want to drop out through the pelvis here, maintaining a strong midline. We're going to walk the left foot to the outside of the left arm. Both hands are directly below their shoulders, and this left knee is tucked in nice and tight towards the left tricep. Again, you're welcome to bring the right knee to the earth. Belly strong, feeling the length from that right heel up and out the center of the head. We'll take one more breath here. And then right arm presses down into the earth as the left arm rises to the sky. Reaching through those left fingers. Keep the left knee tucked in towards the body. Gentle twist through midline here. One more breath. And on our exhale, gently unwind, coming back to center. You're welcome to bring the right knee down first, and we're going to walk the left foot across to the right side of the mat. Gently lowering the left knee down, lowering the body to the earth, finding pigeon. Release those right toes. Again, you're welcome to slide a bolster, a blanket, a block under that left hip. And we'll breathe here, opening the chest out in front, reaching that chest towards the top of the mat. Softening into those hips. One more deep breath. And on our exhale, slowly lowering down. Again, maybe finding elbows, maybe stacking the fists for the forehead, or maybe allowing the forehead to come all the way down on the earth. We want to find that place in the body that we can rest in these poses. We don't want to be straining the body, but instead settling the body. And with our next inhale, slowly coming back to center. Again, that chest reaches out towards the top of the mat. One more long breath here. And then gently curling those right toes under. We're going to lift through the back of the right knee, step the left foot back for plank. Holding this nice strong posture here. Think about bringing the pubic bone towards the bottom ribs. Keeping those hips elevated. One more breath. And on our exhale, find downward dog. Letting those heels make their way towards the earth, sits bones rise to the sky. We'll take one more long, deep breath here. And on our exhale, bending the knees, finding child's pose. Hips rest back towards the heels, forehead to the earth. We can find infant pose from here if that feels nice for the body by bringing the hands back by the feet, letting the shoulders roll down. Finding your breath, enjoying long inhales and long exhales. And with our next inhale, we'll rise up for hero. Pressing up, the hips settle down in between the space between the heels. And we lift through the center of the head, hands resting on the quads. Really embodying this pose, hero pose. We're down on our knees, humble, yet we're alert, aware, breathing here. And with our next inhale, we'll come forward so that we can crisscross the feet behind us, sit the bottom back, and bring the legs out in front. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. On the exhale, we find our forward fold. Belly comes down first, throwing the fingers way out over the toes, eventually allowing the gaze to drop to the knees. We'll take 2 more long, deep breaths here. And with our next inhale, rising back up to midline, we'll bend the knees and scooch our bottoms forward and then find our way onto our backs, allowing the knees to come into the chest. From here, allowing the knees to just drop to the left and right sides of the body. So we're in just kind of a lazy, happy baby here, letting the knees drape to the left and right, maybe even enjoying a gentle rock from side to side. And from here, bringing the knees back to center, feet land on the earth. We'll keep those knees standing. Bringing the right knee over the left and then gently dropping both knees down to the left. If you want to take this into a deep spinal twist, you can extend the arms out to the side and gaze over the right shoulder. If a spinal twist is not right for you, just allow the body to gently roll slightly onto that left side so that we're feeling this nice long stretch from the right knee up and through that right hip. So choosing whichever variation of this posture feels most right for you. And we'll breathe here. If you are in a spinal twist, attempting to keep both shoulder blades pressed down onto the earth. And with our next inhale, gently unwind, making your way back to center. Uncross the knees, bring the feet out nice and wide. So the feet are touching the outer edges of the mat. And then we'll drop right knee down towards midline. Coming back to center, drop left knee down towards midline. Come back to center one more time each side. That right knee comes down. Bring it back to standing, and left knee comes down. And slowly back to standing. We'll walk the feet towards one another and then cross the left knee over the right, dropping both knees down to the right. Again, choosing the variation here that feels most right for you. Maybe you're enjoying a deep spinal twist, or maybe you're rolling slightly onto the right, opening through the outside of that left hip. Gaze can either be up at the sky over your left hand. And again, choosing the variation that feels most right for you. If you're enjoying a spinal twist, both shoulder blades stay pressed down onto the earth. We'll take 2 more long, deep breaths here. And with your next inhale, coming back to center, Gently unwinding, uncrossing the legs, bringing the feet out to the outer edges of the mat. We'll drop right knee towards midline and then back to center. Drop left knee down, back to center. One more each side. Right knee drops down, breathing into that low belly, releasing through the psoas. And then drop left knee down. And slowly make your way back to center. We'll heel to toe, walk those feet towards one another, and then extend the right foot all the way down onto the earth, and then the left leg follows. Arms up overhead, finding a long, beautiful full body stretch here from fingertips to toes. Filling the belly with breath, and on the exhale, gently release and settle. Hands come down by our sides, palms open to the space in the room. And allowing your eyes to close if they aren't there already, placing the tongue right behind the front two teeth where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Letting the jaw be open and at rest. And we'll welcome another balancing pranayama to come into our awareness as we prepare for a day ahead. Bringing this into a 4-part breath, 2 parts for the inhale, 2 parts for the exhale, attempting to keep the breath nice and balanced. And with our inhale, we'll breathe into the low belly and then allow that breath to come all the way up into the top of the chest. So we have an inhale into the low belly, and then the chest fills. And on our exhale, we'll release from the upper chest first, and then release from the belly. So the movement of the body is belly up, and then chest down, belly down. Have any babies in your life or have spent time with babies, you can see this breath cycle fairly clearly. It can be a little challenging for us today's time and day, but attempting to play with this breath cycle. Inhale into belly, fill the chest, exhale from chest, and exhale from belly. Maybe becoming even more aware of that apex of the lungs, that space just below the collarbones as you bring your breath way up into the top of the lungs, filling the full chest. Long, deep diaphragmatic breath way down into the belly, expanding the ribs, filling the lungs. Exhale, releasing from the collarbones, down the ribs, and then releasing the belly. And we'll do about 2 or 3 more breath cycles like this. Just allow some gentleness and maybe even some play into the body, working with what may be a very new or different breath practice. And for the remainder of Shavasana, letting go of any attempt to control the breath and just bear witness to the natural rise and fall of each inhale and exhale. Maybe recognizing that this shift of awareness allows you to fully embody that state of presence. Maybe even bringing a hand back to the place in the body that you most easily connect with that present awareness. And with your next inhale, we'll allow movement to come back in the body through fingers or toes, ankles or wrists. Slowly allowing the body to transition from our mat into our day. Giving yourself these next couple of moments to come over onto one side. Maintaining that relationship to this place of presence. Watching the breath, allowing the breath to help the movement as we slowly start to press up to a comfortable seated position. And with our next inhale, allowing the arms to rise to the sky, breathing in this abundance and gratitude that surrounds us. And on our exhale, hands come to heart center. I want to thank you all for being with us today and for joining throughout the week. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Namaste.